Hi Earth Angels, it's Star. I wanted to do a video on chronic fatigue because since I was about 12, I've struggled with it, and each year it just gets progressively worse. And I think the worst thing about having fatigue is that there's such a stigma behind it. People just say, stop being lazy, just get off your butt and do something. And it makes you feel bad about yourself. It makes you feel like you're worthless and you're not capable of doing anything. But that's rarely ever the case, because I know for me personally, I was so tired that I just did not want to do anything. I wanted to do a lot of different things. It's just that I didn't have the energy to do it, and it always felt like I was walking through smudge with my brain and physically. It actually got to the point where I couldn't really hold a real job because my attendance was so bad, and I had to get my GED because I couldn't keep up with my attendance, and a lot of it had to do with just being really tired. Not only that, my brain was always so exhausted. It's hard explaining it to someone who doesn't have chronic fatigue, but if you have chronic fatigue, you know what I'm talking about. You're forgetful of little things, you don't remember the details, you're not fully there, and all you're thinking about is laying in bed. And I know for a while there, I would get to the point where I would just lay in bed all morning, and I would have to bribe myself, yell at myself, and do whatever it took to drag myself out of bed, and by that time it would be 4 p.m. or something at night. And that's not the way anyone should live, because it's not living, it's just being in a constant fog, a constant daze of being lethargic. So this is something I've been struggling with most of my life. At first I would try to self-medicate. I would actually drink a lot of alcohol, because even though it's a depressant, it would give me that awake, alert feeling I wanted there for a while. And I would also self-medicate with a lot of stimulants like coffee, Adderall, meth, cocaine. That escalated fairly quickly from coffee to cocaine, but the reason why I'm being very open about this is because I feel like the internet can be really alienating with everyone trying to be so perfect all the time, and I really want to share with you guys my nitty-gritty story so you get where I'm coming from. Please try not to judge me for it. We've all made mistakes. I'm not really a drug person. I never really liked the feeling of being out of control, but the drugs that really called out to me were stimulants, and it wasn't necessarily about getting the high. It was more about wanting to be alive and experiencing life and having enough energy to do it. It's really hard to explain. I know that's really weird, justifying drug use by being tired, but a lot of the reasons why I used the substances I did were I was just so tired and I didn't have the will to live. I know some people, they have a problem with opioids or downers or anything like that. That was never my thing, because I always felt like I was melting into my bed. Now, this obviously was not a sustainable lifestyle, and I started to get really worried about my health, and I started to get really into spirituality. So obviously I cut those things out by the will of God, and it was very hard to kick. So even though I wasn't taking the stimulants, I was popping 3 100 milligram caffeine pills a day on top of energy drinks and coffee. First of all, your body builds up a tolerance. Second of all, it is really hard on your heart, and my chest started to hurt a lot, and I didn't feel healthy, and the only time I would get out of bed is if I had enough caffeine to kill a horse in my body. And the thing about that lifestyle is, yes, at first it's a quick fix. Yes, it works. Yes, it makes you feel awake and alive, but in the long run, you start to feel really, really bad. Like, you feel like your body is breaking down, your chest hurts, your heart is mad at you. It's not a sustainable lifestyle. So anyway, I started to feel really unhealthy, and one day it just clicked in my head, like, that's it. I want to find the healthy way to get rid of my chronic fatigue. And I went to the doctors about it too, and there was nothing wrong with me. I was fine. Although it felt like I had a serious illness or I was dying of cancer. That is what my chronic fatigue felt like. So there's nothing wrong with me physically, so the doctor assumed it was depression or anxiety. So they referred me to a psychiatrist, and I did the whole Zoloft, Prozac, all of that stuff, but I didn't like the way it made me feel. And I'm someone who believes that if I can do something naturally or cure something naturally, that's how I'm going to do it. However, guys, if you cannot cure your depression, your anxiety, your fatigue naturally, then I understand that. Please listen to your doctor. I'm never saying ignore your doctor. I'm saying, in my opinion, if you can do something organically, that is the best way to do it. You should always try to do it naturally first, and then if that doesn't work, move on to more serious chemical options. So I decided I was going to go on a journey to cure my fatigue for good, so I could finally be the awake, productive person I've always wanted to be, that I knew was inside of me. The first thing I did was I started doing high intensity interval training. Before you click out and you're like, I'm so sick of hearing that working out cures chronic fatigue. I get it. I don't want to do it. I understand that. I hate working out. I avoid working out like the plague and have avoided working out like the plague. But hear me out. High intensity interval training is a workout you only need to do for 20 minutes 4 times a week. So if you're someone who doesn't want to go to the gym for an hour every day on the treadmill or on the elliptical, and you want to do something that's at home with no equipment, all you need is yourself and a space to do it in, and it only takes 20 minutes 4 times a week, then this is the thing for you. I'm always looking to do things that have minimal effort with maximum reward, and high intensity interval training is the way to go. And not only does it spurt up your energy, it spurts up your metabolism. It makes your body look great. There's this YouTube channel I follow called Fitness Blender, and they have a bunch of at-home, no equipment workouts that are high intensity interval training that consist of push-ups, jumping jacks, jumping lunges, squats, all of that stuff that tone your body. The greatest thing about it is you only have to do it 20 minutes 4 times a week to see maximum energy levels and to see a result on your body. And no, I don't have a partnership with them, but there's someone I've been working out with for 4 years now, and I really enjoy their content, and it's accessible and easy. Anyone can do it. It requires minimal effort, minimal time for maximum energy results, and I highly recommend it. I'm gonna put the links down below so you guys can check them out. The other thing I really like to use is Organite. This stone is a miracle worker. One day I was on the internet looking for something that would protect me against EMF. Harmful EMF comes from technology all around us. It comes from your Wi-Fi, it comes from your phone, your TV, anything electronic it comes from. It's sort of like Wi-Fi, even though you don't see it, you know it's there, and it's very harmful for your body because it lets out positive ions. So what the Organite does is it neutralizes it and turns them into negative ions. Anyway, I was looking for something that would protect me against this harmful EMF. So I decided to impulse buy this because I heard somewhere that it would work. By the way, I'm not sponsored by anything. This is purely trying to help you guys with your fatigue. I swear I'm not sponsored by Fitness Blender, Organite, or any of the stuff I'm showing you today. So I bought it and I realized I wasn't always swimming through sludge. Like, I had the will to get out of bed. I had the will to go and shower. I didn't want to lay in bed for hours after I woke up. I had like this energy to get out of bed like never before, even before my workout. And that was very unusual behavior for me. And I did more research on it, and it turns out that harmful EMF actually causes fatigue when you are overly exposed to it. I also found out that this stone helps with fatigue in ADD and ADHD. It also helps with concentration, focus, mood, stress. I knew none of these things before. This was an impulse buy I got on Amazon. It was the best impulse buy I've ever gotten. I will notice a difference if I take this off to go and shower. That is how powerful this stone is. And I know a lot of different crystals have a bunch of different healing properties, and I do wear a bunch of different crystals, but to be honest, no other crystal gives me an immediate result or an immediate feeling like the Organite does. As soon as I put it on, as soon as I put it off, there's an immediate noticeable difference. And I know it's not a placebo because I knew nothing about this until I did more research on it. And this stuff is affordable. You can get these necklaces for $15. You can get pyramids to put in your room wherever you're studying or working out for about $40, and it really does the job. Now, the third thing I've done is I've taken a bunch of different supplements, and I've done trial and error on a lot of different supplements, and these are the supplements that really helped my chronic fatigue. The first thing I do is I take a vegan women's daily vitamin. It's called My Kind, and these are actually made by Alicia Silverstone, who starred in the movie Clueless. And for the younger generations, that was the 90s Mean Girls. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's totally rad. I took some of these because because a lot of the times when we're tired or feeling fatigued, it's because we're malnourished. They're really tasty. They're in gummy form, so if you don't like swallowing a horse pill, this is awesome. Once again, I'm not sponsored by them, but this really helps my fatigue because it gives me all the vitamins and minerals that I need. I know when I was younger, I was like, vitamins don't really do anything. You're just gonna pee them out. Like, I guess I just read it somewhere and I thought that. But in my experience, taking vitamins really helps your energy levels, and it gives you all the minerals and vitamins that you're missing in your diet. Another thing I do is I take 3 drops of detoxidine a day. Now, this is actually iodine that you can just put right on your tongue and swallow. It comes with a little dropper. This is awesome because it detoxes your body. And as you know, in today's world, we are bombarded by chemicals in our food, our water, our air. I mean, you don't even have to be a conspiracy theorist at this point to know that. And this really just detoxes all of that from you and gets rid of that brain fog. Because when you have chronic fatigue, it's not just your body, it's your head, and this really makes you sharp and clear, and everyone should be taking iodine drops. If you want to open your third eye, get woke, and get rid of your chronic fatigue, detoxidine. It is the best stuff out there. I swear by it. Another thing is B12. Do you know a lot of you who have chronic fatigue might be suffering from a B12 deficiency? And I've noticed that a lot of my fatigue has been cured just by taking some extra B12. Now this is the mother lode of chronic fatigue supplements. This is called St. John's wort. St. John's wort is used to cure depression in a lot of other countries other than America, and it works. Pretty much what this does is it gets rid of those negative thoughts that are telling you you can't do something, and it makes you stop going to the negative route of things and lets you kind of see the positive in situations. It encourages positive thinking, and this is what I use to cure my depression. And I've noticed that this helps me get out of bed in the morning, and it's a lot better. Like I say, it's a lot better if you can cure something naturally, and if you can cure it naturally, great. If you can't cure it naturally, then obviously you should, go to your doctor and listen to what your doctor says. Now, the last thing, obviously we're not all going to be perfect robots with a bunch of energy. We are humans. We're going to get tired. Sometimes you need some caffeine, and I'm not saying caffeine is completely bad and you should never ingest caffeine. Obviously, you're going to have nights where you need to pull an all-nighter for school or work or something, and you're gonna need a little bit of a pep. So if I do drink caffeine, what I do is I drink yerba mate. I try to stay away from coffee because coffee has a tendency to stain your teeth, and I just don't like the way it makes you feel, because when I drink coffee personally, my body is jittery but my brain is still in a fog, or it's like this false energy. When I drink this Brazilian yerba mate tea, once again, I'm not sponsored, these are really actually what I use, it wakes up my brain, which is so much better than having the jitters and still feeling like you're moving through smog. It makes you pay attention and focus better, and it just makes your brain be awake, and it makes you feel confident. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's big over here, but this to me works so much better than coffee, and it really helps me get out of bed in the morning. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer it. As usual, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.